Okay, so welcome everybody, and let's get started in child's pose this evening. So just coming to sit in any version of child's pose, with or without a bolster. So I'm going to use a bolster and take my knees wide, but you could have your knees together, you could just lie on the floor, you could put a block underneath your head. If you're using a bolster, either turn your head to one side or just support the forehead on a cushion or a block or a blanket or something so that you can breathe. And let's just take a moment to settle in. So we've had a request for lower back, and I've got a personal request for coziness because it's cold and wet here. So we'll start with a cozy child's pose, just breathing into the lower back. So how I make my yoga practice cozy, I guess, is with supports, with using my bolster. So feel free to support yourself in any of the postures this evening to make yourself feel more comfortable. So as we just settle into this shape, allowing the body to start to surrender some of what it's been holding today to the support beneath it, just have that real sense of letting go. As whatever we've been carrying today, just for the next hour and a bit, just leaving it at the door. We don't need to tend to anything else in this time we have, except making ourselves comfortable, pain-free, and being as conscious as we can of the sensations in our body, of our breath, and even of our mind. Just seeing if you can take that step back from the busyness of your mind and just watch it. Just watch what it's doing. Is it in the future worrying about things or making lists or creating future scenarios? Is it dredging the past? The mind, the busy mind, is never in the present moment, in my experience. But that part of us that's watching it is. This is our link to the present. Mindfulness, present moment awareness. Relaxing the jaw, check you're not frowning, soften the cheeks. If you've got your head turned to one side, just turning it the other way to stretch the other side of the neck. Relaxing the shoulders and the back. And feeling how this shape gently stretches the lower back, the fascia of the lower back. So if the lower back is tender for us, we can direct our awareness there and really breathe space into the lower back. And then when you feel ready in your own time, we're going to come up to a tabletop position. So just taking your time, removing the bolster if you used a prop. Come up onto your hands and knees. And place your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your wrists. And really spread the fingertips actively, dynamically. So nice, wide, active hands pressing into the floor. And just start to move the spine. Inhale into a cow. So lift the tailbone, drop the belly, and look up to the eyebrows. Exhale into the cat, tailbone under, stretch the upper back to the sleeping chin to the chest. Really push through the hands there. And just keep moving between those two positions. A smooth, fluid, glidey feeling as you undulate the spine back and forth with your breath. You are really welcome to keep going with the cat-cows. If you feel just a little bit of more intuitive movement would feel good at this point, feel free to just let yourself be body-led for the next few breaths. Maybe that might involve some circling of the rib cage or the hips, or maybe a bending of the elbows or a movement of the neck. Just really feeling with this wisdom that we have in our fascia and the connective tissue all through the body, of which parts of the body really just want you to get into them, stretch them out. And if you're not feeling, if you're just really enjoying the kind of up and down, that's fine too. Just really go with what feels best. And then at the end of your next exhale, just return to a neutral spine and take a breath. And then option, you can skip this bit if you wish, just keep the left knee on the floor, but otherwise if we want to get an inner thigh stretch as well, take the left leg out to the side with the toes pointing forward, inner arch in line with the inner right knee. Inhale, reach the right hand up and look up to that right hand, and exhale, feed the right hand through underneath the left arm towards your left foot, and bring the side of the head down towards the floor. Use a block under the head if it doesn't meet the floor. If you've got the left leg out to the side, try to stay quite active in that leg, pressing through the sole of the foot. If it's too much, bring the left knee down. Maybe keep the left hand where it is, or reach it forward, or inhale it up and exhale, wrap it around to maybe reach towards your right thigh or right hip crease, or you could just place the heel of the hand on the lower back. If you're wrapping the arm around, then draw that left shoulder back as if you're trying to draw the shoulder blade towards the spine. So we open up the left side of the chest, activating the left back muscles. A couple more breaths. And at the end of your next exhale, if you wrap your left arm, bring it back down and pressing it down on the floor through your left hand, bring yourself back round. Inhale the right arm up again, and exhale, release it down, bring that left knee in. Just return to the tabletop, take a cat-cow between sides. And then again, the optional extra of the right leg out to the side, or right knee stays on the floor. Have the right toes pointing forward. Inhale, lift the left arm, look up. Exhale, feed the left hand through underneath the right arm, all the way through towards your right foot. Left side of the head down. Keep the right hand where it is, or reach it forward, or inhale, lift it up. Exhale, wrap. Maybe you find the left thigh, maybe you rest the hand on the lower back. Either way, draw the right shoulder back towards the spine. Open up the right chest. Press down actively through the right sole of the foot. Sole of the right foot, I should say. I hope you could hear me when I was facing the other way. I turned around. So right leg stays active. Keep drawing the right shoulder back. And then inhale, raising the right hand if you wrapped it. Exhale, everybody press the right hand down. Bring yourself through and inhale, raise the left arm again, looking up. Exhale, bringing it down, slide the right knee in. And just keep the hips over the knees as you walk the hands forward. Sink the chest towards the floor and the chin or the forehead. Use a block under the head if you need. And soften the front body here. I love this posture for the lower back because it's gravity assisted. So hopefully it feels like a kind of a spaciousness opening up in the lower back area. Don't worry if you don't feel this. Just either way, breathe into the lower back. Breathe into wherever you feel this. Maybe around the shoulders, probably the armpits. Strong stretch. And then pressing through the hands, lifting the head, walking the hands back in, just in front of the shoulders with the hands, tuck the toes, lift the hips, find your way into downward dog. And you can really spread the toes here. You could walk out this first downward dog if you wish to really get into the Achilles tendon, back of the heel, and the lower calf. Eventually, just descending both heels towards the floor, spreading the fingers dynamically, looking back towards your feet or even up to the navel, feeling the legs strong, opening up the back here. So pressing the hands, pressing the floor away with your hands to send the hips up and back in the opposite direction. And you can always bend the knees to help you feel that if the lower back's tight. Breathing deep. And then bring yourself through to plank. So come high onto the toes and open your way into plank till the shoulders are over the wrists. Now you can stay here with the legs super strong, or you can bring the knees down, but you can still be active in the arms, pressing the floor away. So knees on or off the floor, just a couple more breaths. Lifting the lower belly up towards the spine. And then pressing back to downward dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. We're just going to do that one more time and then come down. So again, come high onto the toes. And it's like you're rolling forward, almost like the cat spine until the shoulders are over the wrists. And then you allow the whole spine to lengthen. Drawing the tailbone under, lifting the belly up towards the spine, bringing the knees down if you prefer. But either way, pushing the floor away. Breathing fully, legs super strong if the knees are off the floor. This time we're going to exhale, bring the knees down, bring the chin and the chest down in front of the hands. And inhale your way up to a cobra. So let the legs come out behind you. Just bring the hands underneath the shoulders, neck long. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then lower the forehead to the floor. Bring the hands behind you. Interlace the hands or just have the hands by the sides. And inhale, lift up into the locust. Just for a couple of breaths, strengthening the back. Keep the gaze to the floor, keep the neck long. Exhale, release. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes. You can either just come up to a little cobra again, or if you're ready, up to a higher cobra or even an upward dog. And then with the toes tucked, press back to downward dog. We'll just do that sequence one more time. So if downward dog gets too much at any point, if you want to be more cozy in child's pose, then bring the knees down. Otherwise, again, opening up the back here, bending the knees if you need. And then come high onto the toes. It's like we're arching the upper back towards the ceiling like cat spine until the shoulders are over the wrists, and then elongate through the spine, crown of the head reaching forward, heels reaching backwards, legs strong, belly lifting, tailbone drawing down, push the floor away actively with the hands. And then we can lower to our belly. So use your knees if you wish, or if you prefer, coming all the way down to the floor with the knees off. Inhale, coming up to a cobra. So just hands underneath the shoulders. We're not using the hands here. We're using the back muscles. Breathing. Exhale, lower. Again, bring the hands behind you, either reaching back or interlacing the hands. And inhale, lift up into the locust. Just for a couple of breaths here, keeping the neck long. Extension through the body, crown of the head forward, toes reaching backwards. Exhale, release. Hands underneath the shoulders. Either inhale up to cobra or higher, maybe upward dog, and then exhale, press back, downward dog. Taking a couple of breaths. And at the end of your next exhale, look forward, walk, step, or jump the feet to the hands. And bring the feet so they're directly underneath the hips and parallel and facing forward. And again, you can bend the knees here if you wish. We're going to take Padangusthasana. So wrap the first two fingers and the thumb around the big toe. And you might need to bend the knees quite a lot to find that. And then inhale, look up, straightening the arms. Exhale, pour your body down over the legs, so the crown of the head's descending. Elbows go wide if you're quite open. Press the big toes actively down into the fingers here. Press the tip of your thumbs into the tips of the big toe. So we seal the energetic circuit of the body. Breathe, draw the lower belly up towards the spine. And then inhale, look up, straightening the arms. Release and bring your left hand down to the floor. If you need to use a block, place your hand on a block or bend the knees. And then we're going to bend the left knee, turn to the right, and take the right hand up. Or if you don't want to take the right hand up, if it's too much for the shoulder, just rest the right hand on the lower back and draw the right shoulder back. Otherwise, reaching up, pressing down actively through that right foot. Exhale, release. Bring the right hand down below the face using the block if you need. Bend the right knee, and then take the left hand up. Left hand on the lower back, drawing the left shoulder back. Pressing down through the left foot actively. Exhale, release the left hand down. Just keeping folded over one more time. Bring the hands behind you, interlace, and just let the hands come up and over here, bending the knees as much as you need. Stretching into the shoulders. Bringing the hands back to the lower back, bend the knees, sink the hips, take the hands forward and bring the weights more into the heels here. So we're really using the thighs, draw the tailbone under, low belly in, stretch forward through the fingertips. Feel that kind of burning feeling growing in the thighs. Couple more breaths if you can. And then on your next inhale, try not to rush, slowly press through the feet to straighten the legs, take the hands all the way up. And then exhale, bring the hands down by the sides. And then we'll come into a side stretch. So keeping the feet about hip distance apart. Just make a loose fist with your right hand. Inhale, stretch up through the left. Exhale, leaning over to the right. It's like our right fist is kind of dropping down towards the floor. Keeping that weight, drawing the right shoulder down away from the right ear. Press down through both feet, especially the left foot. Feel the whole of the left side of the body opening here. Inhale, coming back up, release the left hand down, make a loose fist. Inhale, reach the right hand up. Exhale, leaning over to the left. Left fist or left hand is just dropping to bring the weight, the weight of that's dropping the left shoulder down away from the left ear. Press down through the right foot. Reach in the opposite direction through the right fingertips and breathe fully. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, release the hands to the side and just come to the front of your mats and take Shavasana. Just turning my heating off. Just arrive, not Shavasana, Tadasana. More or less spread, shoulders back and down, fingertips extending down towards the floor. Drawing up on the kneecap, dropping the tailbone, and connecting to your breath. Feeling the effects of the practice. Start to open up the body, start to get the energy moving, opening the fascia, noticing how you feel. Again, coming back to present moment awareness. And then sun salutation. So when you're ready, inhale, raising the hands, looking up. Exhale, forward fold, dropping the head. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step or jump back to the plank, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale here. Exhale, lower, knees on or off the floor. Inhale, cobra or upward dog, back bend. Exhale, downward dog. Taking a few breaths here, relaxing the neck. So again, spreading the toes, looking back towards the feet, spreading the fingertips, pushing the floor away with the hands to extend the spine. Lower belly drawing up towards the spine. Check you're not gritting the teeth. Have a relaxed jaw here, deep breaths. And at the end of the exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, look up, extending the spine. Exhale, dropping the head. Inhale, raise the hands, reach and stretch. Exhale, Tadasana, hands to the sides. And again, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Head drops. Inhale, look up, extend the spine. Exhale, press the hands down, step or jump back to the plank or tabletop. Inhale. Exhale, push the floor away, elbows in as you lower. Inhale, back bend of your choice, chest forward, shoulders back, and exhale, downward dog. Deep breaths, active hands and feet. Relax jaw and face. We're using our practice to build some heat here, internal heat. Feel like you're drawing the breath from deep down in the body, deep in the pelvic bowl. Strong dynamic breath, Ujjayi breath if you know it. At the end of your next exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, look up to extend the spine. Exhale, drop the head. Inhale, raise the hands, stay connected to the feet as you stretch and look up, and exhale, Tadasana. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, plank or tabletop. Inhale, strong legs. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend, looking up. Exhale, downward dog. Nice. Few breaths here. Press the fingertips and the thumb tip down, as well as the perimeter of the palm of the hands. Press the perimeter of the feet down, whatever parts of the feet are touching the floor. Active foundations. And this time we're just going to put a little bit of variation in. So looking forward and stepping your right foot between the hands, and inhale your way up to a high lunge. So keeping that back knee off the floor on the ball of the back foot. Tone the left buttock, left glutes working, left heel drawing back. If your balance is good, you could look up or look forward. Now, your hands on the floor if you need. Otherwise, without the hands, lower the left knee to the floor. Bring the palms to touch and find yourself in Anjaneyasana. If you needed to use the hands to descend, that's fine, but meet us in Anjaneyasana, or you could have your hands on the thigh or the hands on the floor. Exhale into a twist. So bring the left elbow or the left hand to the outside of the right thigh and look over your right shoulder. Inhale to turn to face the front, hands down, slowly glide that left hip back. Bring the right toes up to the ceiling and fold over the right shin. Half Pavanasana. Keep that right knee bent if you need. And then bringing the right foot back down. Have your left hand underneath the left shoulder, and you could have a block if you preferred or needed. Turn to the right and bring the right hand onto the right hip. And then you can stay here. You could reach the right hand back, and you could maybe, some of you, see if you can find the left foot with the right hand. And then we draw the heel towards the buttock. We keep sinking the hips. We draw the right shoulder back. We lift the space behind the heart. So it's almost like a back bend. Strong thigh stretch for that left thigh. If we've not got the foot, we're just reaching back through the right fingertips with the left foot on the floor. If you've got the foot released, turn back to the front, tuck that back toe under, and then you can come straight to downward dog or child's pose, or scoot the right foot to join the left for plank. Exhale, lower knees on or off the floor. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward dog. And just take a couple of breaths here, just again coming back to foundations, to breath, present moment awareness. And then at the end of your next exhale, look forward and bring that left foot between the hands. And physically bring it forward with your hands if you need, but your left knee is above ankle. And then we inhale up to the high lunge. This can be a tricky transition. Don't worry if you wobble, it's normal. Reach the fingertips up to the ceiling, maybe looking up or looking forward, squeezing the right buttock. Active back leg. Big breaths. It's a lovely opening for the chest, this posture. So use that space. Big breaths into the rib cage. And then again, if you need to use your hands on the floor as you lower, that's fine. Otherwise, without the hands, see if we can place the right knee on the floor, bring the palms to touch, or bring the hands onto the thigh. Let's sink our way into the crescent moon lunge, looking up to the hands if the balance allows. Doesn't matter if the left knee is in front of the ankle now. And then exhale into a twist. So right elbow or right hand to the outside of left thigh. If it's the elbow, palms touch. Either way, we look over that left shoulder. Keep sinking the hips. Deep breaths. And then unwind, facing the front, palms down, hands down on the floor. Slowly glide the right hip back. Keep the left heel where it is, but bring the toes up towards the ceiling or back to the shin. Walking the hands back and folding over that left shin. If you have the luxury of 2 blocks, you could have them either side of the left shin now to make this more comfortable and spacious, if that helps. Or you can bend that left knee. But try to keep the left foot flexed actively. So we get into the lower calf. And then bring the sole of that left foot back down. Place the right hand underneath the right shoulder. Use a block if you need, and take your left hand onto your hip, left hip, or reach it back. Option to bend the right knee, find the right foot with the left hand, and draw the right heel towards the right buttock. Still sinking the hips low. And then it's a bit of a back bend as well, kind of lifting the space behind the heart up. We're leaning back slightly. If you don't have the foot, just reach that left hand back. Keep the right foot on the floor. Those who have the foot, release. Bring the left hand down. Tuck the back knee under. And again, straight to downward dog or child's pose. Or one last time, we could come to the plank. We could inhale here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward dog. And just take another breath or so in downward dog. Just to, again, this is like our neutral posture, coming back to our center, to our foundations, to our breath, present mood, present moment awareness. And at the end of the exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stay connected to your feet as you raise the hands, palms touch, look up, and exhale, hands to the side, Tadasana. And just pause in the mountain pose for a moment. Just feel your feet on the floor, feel the effects of the flow of the practice, maybe tingling in the palms of the hands, a sense of more heat in the body, maybe the heart rate has increased. Just noticing the effects, the changes. And then when you're ready, come to face the long edge of your mat. We're going to come into triangle and then into half moon with an optional thigh stretch. So if you know you might need a block, take it somewhere close to your right foot at this point. Okay, so feet not too wide, somewhere between elbows and wrists. As you extend the arms, turn the left and the right foot all the way out, hips face forward. Inhale, and as you exhale, slide the torso to the right till it won't go any further. Bring the right hand down to meet the leg or the foot, left hand up. Strong in the legs. Open soles of the feet, pressing down actively. Drawing the lower belly back to the spine. Try not to dump your weight into that right hand. Have a sense of lightness and lift through the spine, crown of the head reaching forwards. For the last couple of breaths, stretch that left arm forward so the upper arm comes close to the ear and you reach the fingertips forward so there's this long line from hips to fingertips. Inhale that hand back up. Exhale, left hand to left hip. Turn to face your right foot and bend the right leg as you bring the fingertips to the floor or your block forwards into the outside of your right foot and start to step or walk that back foot in. Once the right hip is above the ankle, we can start to raise the back leg. You might need to keep a bend in the right knee. Flex the left foot, toes to the shin, push out through the heel, maybe raise the left hand. If you're wobbly, look at the floor. If you're quite balanced this evening, maybe try looking forward or even up to that top hand. Now you can stay here, or one more option is to bend the left leg and bring the heel towards the buttock. Take the left hand to the top of the left foot and squeeze the heel in towards the buttock. So a little bit like what we just did in the crescent moon, but slightly different. But a quad stretch. This is Chapasana, totally optional. If you've taken Chapasana, release first back into half moon, and then everybody bend the standing leg, bring that left foot back down, inhale coming up, and we'll go to the other side. Okay, so just go as far as you want with these things. If you need to come out early, do. I'm just putting in optional extras. Bring your block to the left if you're going to need it. So the right foot in, the left foot all the way out. Make sure the hip bones still face the long edge of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, torso slides to the left, bring the left hand down, right hand up. And again, just check you're not really collapsing all your weight into that left hand and that the left ear is close to the left shoulder. Have a sense of lift and extension through the spine. Imagine somebody is pressing into the crown of your head and you're pressing back. So this is helping you extend through the spine. You're pressing against that finger, extending. Spread the toes, firm the thighs, draw the tailbone under, draw the lower belly in, breathe deep. And then for the last couple of breaths, bring that right upper arm close to the ear and reach forward. So it's like the right hip's reaching backwards and the right fingertips reaching in the opposite direction to really stretch out the right side. And then inhale, take that right hand back up. And exhale, bring it onto the hip. Turn to face the left foot. And if we're going for half moon, bend the left leg, take the fingertips down to the floor or block and start to slide or step the back foot in, raising the back leg. Eventually it's in line with the hip, but it could be just hovering a centimetre off the floor, wherever you're at is great. Internally rotate the right leg, flex the foot, toes to the shin, maybe reaching up through the right hand, maybe playing with drishti, our gaze point. So if you're wobbly, keep looking at the floor. Stay connected to your core. And then that final option, Chapasana, for those that want to bend the right knee, bring the heel in towards the buttock, take hold of the top of the right foot with the right hand and squeeze the heel in towards the buttock. Feel that stretching the front of the right thigh. And then if you're in Chapasana, release back into Trikonasana, Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon, and then bend the standing leg, bring the right foot back down. Inhale your way back up. Well done. Just take a moment. If you want to bring the feet together for a moment, then do. And we're going to stay with Trikonasana variations and do Parivriti Trikonasana, the revolved triangle. So when you're ready, we're going to take the feet about the same. It's not a big distance, about the same distance. And again, have your block close to your right foot if you have tight hamstrings. Turn the left foot in, turn the right foot all the way out. But this time our hips follow. So now our hips are facing the same direction as the right foot, the right toes, hip bones forward. And then take right hand onto the right hip. Inhale, stretch up through the left side. Exhale, reach forward. And then bring the left hand down to the floor or a block inside your right foot, maybe on top of the right foot, or if you're more open and you don't need to use a block, you could try bringing it down to the little toe edge of your right foot. Wherever you're at, start to rotate the torso to the right, drawing the right shoulder back, and then maybe, if it feels okay in the shoulder, reach the right hand up. Drishti, the gaze is up to that top hand, but if you're wobbly, feel free to look down. So if this is really strong on your hamstrings, use a block. Have your left hand on top of a block. Breathe. It's a strong posture. It's a twist. It's a hamstring stretch. Again, feel like you're pressing the crown of your head into the finger pressing against you to extend through the spine. And then releasing that right hand back to the hip. Take a little bend into the right knee. Inhale your way up. And we'll go to the other side. Okay, so pivoting all the way around. So now left toes point straight out in the other direction and the hip bones are in the same, following the same direction. Have your block handy if you need it. Left hand to hip. Inhale, stretch up through the right side. Exhale, get really long, reach forward through that right hand. And then with all that length, bring it down to the floor. Choose your hand position on a block or not. Big toe side on the foot or little toe side. And then start to twist to the left Drawing the left shoulder back, reaching the left hand up, maybe looking up. Feel like you're squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. Firm the thighs. Press actively through the feet. Breathe deep. It's a strong posture. If it's too much, skip this one. And then bring the left hand to the left hip, bend the left leg. Inhale, bring your way up. Turn to face the front. And exhale, Tadasana. And just breathe that through. And then when you're ready, we're going to take a wide stance with the toes pointing forwards. We're going to come into a twisted version of Prasarita. So again, have a block handy if the floor always feels quite far away in these postures. So bring the hands onto the hips. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. Inhale, look up, and exhale, fold. Just to begin with, just bring the hands down to the floor, fingertips moving to be in line with the toes eventually, or if you're very open, even turning your hands the other way and reaching them backwards through the legs. Let the back of the neck be long, let the crown of the head descend, and really feel the strength in the legs here. So pressing down again through the perimeter of the feet, lift the inner arches of the feet. So when we're working to strengthen our lower back, we want to work intelligently with our core, which actually begins in our feet and the inner seams of the legs. This is all part of our core intelligence in the body. So active feet. And then press through the hands. Inhale, looking up, and bring your right hand just directly beneath your face onto a block if you need, because you want to have the palm pressing flat down. Take the left hand onto the lower back and draw the left shoulder back as you look up. And again, if it's okay in the shoulder, lift the left arm up. So we're not worrying too much about dropping the right hip in this version because we're working more with the lower back. So just let the hips do whatever they want to do here, but focus on strong legs, pressing equally down through both feet, pressing down through that right hand to reach in the opposite direction through the left fingertips. And again, imagine there's somebody pressing their index finger into the crown of your head and you're pressing back. So your head is extending forward, your sit bones, the base of your pelvis is extending in the opposite direction back, and the spine is long in this twist. Exhale, release the left hand down, swap the hands, left hand below the face, right hand onto the lower back, draw the right shoulder back, look up, and then if it's okay in the shoulder, reach the right hand up. Once we found the shape, let's just go through our checklist. Are the feet spreading and active? Are the thighs firm? Are we pressing actively through the left hand, feeling the rebound of energy up the right arm, out the fingertips? And is the neck long, sides of the neck long? Feel that we're pressing back against that imaginary finger with the crown of the head, and the sit bones shooting back in the opposite direction. Lower belly drawing in. Exhale, release the right hand down, bring the hands to the hips, use your core, so draw the belly in as you inhale, come all the way up, and just stretch and open the hands wide here, and exhale, bring the feet together. Okay, let's take a balance. So options, you can do normal tree, Vrikasana, with the sole of the foot on the inner thigh. But if you want to start to work with half lotus, there is an option here. So you have to make sure we'll start with the right leg coming up first. The right knee joint is fully sealed. And then there's a kind of a rotation of the hip here to bring this right heel as high up the left thigh as possible as we drop the right knee down. So if this feels inappropriate, there's pain, it just is not for you. If the hip is too tight, tree is our preparatory posture. Okay, so there's no shame in tree at all. It's a wonderful posture. But if you know that you are working with half lotus or ready to go on that journey, then you can come into half lotus here and either just stay here with the hands together at the center of the chest, pressing, or even holding the right foot with the left hand and reaching the right hand behind you, seeing if we can find the left forearm with the right hand. And so either tree or half lotus. If you're in the tree, Hands up, in the shoulders. And then to come out, palms touch. And then exhale, bring the hands to the center of the chest. Inhale here. And then exhale, everybody come out. If you're in half lotus, just really kind of mindfully, carefully bring yourself out and come back to Tadasana. Okay, so when we start to work with lotus, we need to have opened the hips enough first. Otherwise, we're just going to pop the knee joint, and that takes years to heal, believe me. Okay, so let's not run before we can walk. Tree, if we know that's because this is helping us open our hips. So bringing the sole of the foot to the inner leg, above or below the knee, and then taking the hands up, opening them wider than the shoulders. Or we seal that left joint fully, and then we kind of lift the left heel as high up the right thigh as it will go towards the hip joint as we drop the left knee down. So it's important that knee joint stays sealed. And then we can keep hold of the left foot with the right hand, and we can maybe reach the left hand behind, reaching for the forearm, or we can just bring the hands together at the center of the chest and press that left foot into the right thigh. And so any of those options, is feeling what's appropriate for you this evening, listening to your body's feedback. It will tell you if it's not appropriate, and we ignore that at our peril. That's how we injure. So if you're in a tree, when you feel you've had, bringing the palms back together, exhaling them to the chest, inhaling here, and then everybody carefully coming out, bringing the sole of the left foot back down, just refind Tadasana. Okay. And then we're going to come into the gate pose. So from here, we're going to come to a high kneel. So just bring yourself down to a high kneeling position on your mat. And we'll have the right hip above the right knee, and we'll take the left foot out to the left. And the same as when we did our cross thread needle cross twist on our knees, the left toes point forward. We bring the back of the left hand to the left thigh. Inhale, reach up through the right side. Exhale, sliding that left leg down, left hand down the left leg as we reach over to the left with the right hand. So it's like we're pressing down through the right knee, reaching in the opposite direction through the right fingertips. Palms face each other. And then inhale, come out, leading with that right hand, and just bring the right hand all the way down to the floor. Use a block if you need, and bring that left arm up and over. So your right hand is more or less underneath the shoulder, maybe slightly in front of the shoulder. Left arm reaches, and we press down through the little toe edge of the left foot as we reach in the opposite direction. And now we feel that side stretch down the left side of the body. Inhale to come up and swap sides. So bring the left knee in underneath the hip, so the thighs vertical. Reach the right foot out, the toes pointing forward. Try to really kind of stamp the little toe edge down as best you can. It can be a bit of a strain, so don't force it. There's a sense of action in the foot. Back of the right hand on the right leg. Inhale, stretch up through the left fingertips, and exhale, lean to the right. So as you lean to the right, your right hand's going to slide a bit further down the right leg. Just let it go to where it comfortably wants to go to. Palms facing each other. We're creating this lovely crescent moon shape with our arms and hands. Press down through the left knee. Keep the tailbone drawing under. Breathe deep. Inhale, come up, leading with the left hand, and just let that left hand come down. Use a block if you need. Left hand under the left shoulder. Reach the right hand up and over. Pressing down through the little toe edge of that right foot. Keep that right foot active. Feel the stretch in the right side of the body. And then inhale to come up. Just slide the right knee in. Come to kneel down. So come to a seated position. Kneeling, hips hips on heels, and just take a moment here, just integrate the work we've done so far. Again, just maybe taking a little pause, closing the eyes, dropping the tailbone, drawing the belly in. Present moment awareness. Allow yourself to be fully present to whatever is arising within you in this moment. Sensations, thoughts, emotions. Noticing your breath. Ready? So we're going to bring the hands to the floor behind us, maybe 10 to 20 centimeters behind the feet, the toes, fingertips are pointing forwards. We're going to come into the half camel or baby camel. So try to keep the inner thighs touching and pressing together. As you inhale, lift the hips away from the heels. Really press through the hands, open that chest. If it feels comfortable to do so, drop the head all the way back. Otherwise, you can keep the chin drawing in towards the chest. Either way, we're still getting that lovely stretch across the front of the shoulders, the chest, and also stretch down the thighs and the hips. Couple more breaths, keep lifting those hips, keep pressing actively through the hands, and then slowly lower the hips down onto the heels. Bring yourself back to a kneeling position and bring yourself up to a high kneel. So we're going to do another kind of back bend, but now in the high knee. You can have a little gap between the knees now to make this easier. Bring the hands onto the hips. Thumbs could be kind of touching either side of the sacrum, or you could have the heel of the hands either side of the sacrum, fingers down. So either thumbs and then the fingers wrapping around the hip bones, or fingers pointing down. Either way, draw the shoulders back, lift the chest. So if the fingers are pointing down, it helps a little bit help you because we're pressing the hips forward and we're trying to encourage the tailbone to drop. So we're lifting the space behind the heart, pressing the hips forward, lifting the spine, extending the spine away from the pelvis. You can keep the chin tucked in for this one or slightly lift the chin, but we don't need to drop the head all the way back. We're focusing more on the space behind the heart, opening the thoracic spine. Breathing into the upper chest, upper back, and then inhale, coming back up. Exhale here. So if you had enough, just bring the hips onto the heels and rest. Repeat either the baby camel that we did or this one, or option for full camel. There are two other options. Full camel is the palms meet the soles, but you can make it easier by tucking the toes under and maybe just reaching fingertips to heels. Or you can even, if you've got two blocks, bring them behind you and then have the hands onto the blocks instead, okay, to make it more spacious. So come into whatever version of camel feels good for you. Don't overstrain here, so use the options that I've provided. And if it feels comfortable, we drop the head all the way back. But we're really pressing the hips forward. We're really focusing on lifting the space behind the heart. Breathing deep. Sometimes less is more. We don't need to go into the full deep posture to get the benefits. When you're ready to come out, lead with the hips. Let the head follow and bring the buttocks down onto the heels and just rest in the kneeling position. And just take a moment. It's very enlivening, back bends. So again, notice how you feel. So we're going to come into a kind of an inversion. Our counter pose is going to be quite a strong posture. We're going to do the dolphin, okay, but it's going to be really good for opening up the lower back after the back bend. So when you're ready, we'll come onto our hands and knees. And then bring your forearms down. So your elbows are underneath the shoulders. You can interlace the fingers. So you're kind of creating that hands clasped position, or you could just press the palms together. And then we tuck the toes, we lift the hips, and we're trying to make sure that the shoulders stay above the elbows. So we're going to start to walk the toes towards the elbows, but without letting the shoulders come forward. Keep the shoulders above the elbows. Look back towards your feet. Your head is off the floor, and you're pressing down through the elbows, through the wrists, through the forearms, through the little fingers, and feeling that creates space around the ears. You can bend the knees if you need. It's strong on the hamstrings. Connect to your core, draw the lower belly up towards the spine. And then walk the feet back, bring the knees down, and take a child's pose. Just let the shoulders flop forward, bring the hands back towards the feet. Breathe into the lower back. So we've just done a back bend followed by a kind of back strengthener, back core strengthener, and now the delicious cozy child's pose again. And we're going to repeat that whole little sequence. So just take a nice rest here. And just tune into your body, your energy levels. If that sequence once was enough, you can stay in child's pose. You could get a bolster and have a restorative moment here in child's pose. Otherwise, we're going to run through that little sequence, which for me is like a real tonic or toning for the lower back. Okay, so when you're ready, if you're up for another round, bring yourself up to kneel again. Otherwise, get yourself really set up and comfortable in restorative child's pose. And then first of all, the half camel. So bring the hands down, fingers point forwards, a little gap between the fingers and the toes. Press through the hands. Inhale, lift the buttocks away from the heels. Lift, lift, lift. Keep the chin drawn in or slightly lifted, but not all the way back in this one. Really tone the triceps, pressing through the hands. Breathe deep. You could try dropping the head back, only if it feels really safe to do so. And then slowly lower the hips back down onto the heels, bring the chin back to the chest. If you dropped your head back, come back up to kneel. Bring yourself up to a high kneel, slight gap between the knees, hands on the hips, choose your hand position. Drop the tailbone, press down through the knees and lift the spine in the opposite direction, and then press the hips forward. Try not to collapse into the lower back. Try to have a sense of the spine lifting away from the pelvic bowl. Maybe slightly lifting the chin. Try to draw the elbows towards each other. Focus on the space behind the heart as you breathe as deeply as you can here. You don't have to go far. Feel it. And then inhale back vertical. Exhale down for a moment. Feel into your body. You can leave it at that. You can repeat one of those two, or one more variation. Possibly going into camel, maybe with the toes tucked under, maybe with 2 blocks, or one of the previous variations. So if you're going for full camel, press down through the knees, extend in the opposite direction, drop the shoulders back, let the arms dangle. We have to kind of lean back a little bit, find the feet with the hands, or the blocks with the hands, and then we press down to lift up. Hips moving forward, maybe dropping the head. Breathe as deeply as you can. Keep dropping the tailbone. When you're ready to come up, lead with the hips. Head follows. Drop the hips down onto the heels. Take a moment, and as you sit in this kneeling position, see if you can drop that tailbone. So rather than arching the lower back, we're neutralizing the spine, connecting to our core. This in itself is starting to counter the back bending. And then we're going to go back into the dolphin and really work on core focus. This is a great toning of the lower back, is by bringing lower back strength into connection with core strength. They're working together. So really feel that as we come into the dolphin. So come onto your knees and your forearms. You can interlace the hands or just press the palms together, elbows underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the hips, look the back towards the feet, walk the feet towards the elbows as far as is right for you. Heels probably won't be touching the floor. Fine if the knees are bent. Press actively through the forearms and the wrists and the little fingers, And then go to your core. Draw the lower belly up towards the spine. Feel this sense of the lower back working with the core support here. Breathe deep. Option to raise the right leg. A couple of breaths. And lower. Keep the core awareness as you raise the left leg for a couple of breaths. And release. Walking the feet back. Bring the knees down. Sink the hips onto the heels. Child's pose. Just bring the hands back towards the feet. Palms up. Forehead on the floor. Just really let those shoulders drop. Let the belly soften here. Coming back to that feeling of what I'm calling coziness, but that lovely sense of our yoga practice being a very nourishing space, a space where we can challenge ourselves and strengthen ourselves and stretch ourselves. But it's also a place where we can just really rest and reconnect to our breath, our body, our emotions, come into better relation with our mind. So just soften into this posture. And then slowly, when you're ready, bringing yourself up to a kneeling position again, dropping the hips down to the side. We're going to come into another lower back opener. We're going to come into Paschimottanasana. If at this stage you want to be more with the kind of coziness with the bolsters, then feel free to make this a supported Paschimottanasana. One of my favorite ways to do this is head on a block, tummy connecting to a bolster, palms up. So you could do this more restricted version, or if you're fine without, then just normal, inhaling, stretching out with the legs active, and exhale, taking the hands forward, dropping the head. Either way, we're just going to be here a little bit longer than usual, more 10 slow, deep breaths or so rather than 5. So just allowing the posture to unfold with your breath, with time, no force. Just again being body led, really tuning in to what your body is up for and what it's not up for, and honoring this, honoring the wisdom of the body. So bending the knees if you need, dropping the head, breathing into the back. About 5 or so more slow, deep breaths. And then slowly bringing yourself up, lifting the head last. We're going to come into an inversion and then some closing stretches. So my invitation, my cozy inversion, is always legs up the wall. So if you have a wall handy and you'd like to do that, then move yourself over to the wall and bring your hips to the side of the wall and swing the legs up, making sure the buttocks are either touching or very close to the wall. If you don't want to do legs up the wall, you are free to do any inversion that you wish in the middle of the room. That could be headstand, that could be shoulder stand, or if in any doubt, you could just slip a block underneath the sacrum and take the legs up in the middle of the room for a version of Viparita Karani. So your choice, cozy, invitation, legs at the wall. If you're doing more dynamic, just stay for as long as feels comfortable, but if possible, 10 slow deep breaths and then come out in your own time. But otherwise at the wall, we're just going to take maybe a couple of minutes here just to give ourselves time to drop in, release the sacrum to the floor, soften the belly, soften the gaze, or soften the eyes. We've got the eyes closed probably, and we'll soften the gaze behind the closed eyelids. Relaxing the forehead, the cheeks, the temples. Maybe resting one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart, or hands wherever feels comfortable. And then nose at the wall. When you're ready, just bringing the knees in towards the chest and just gently rolling yourself to one side, resting yourself up, returning to your mat or the room. So hopefully those, if anyone did a freestanding inversion in the center of the room, if you did the shoulder stand, just do a little fish with the hands by the hips, lifting the chest, dropping the head back. If you did a headstand, making sure you did a child's pose afterwards. So when we are ready, we're just going to come to seated before we come down to finish with a few closing stretches. But let's just come and just take, we're just going to do 10 slow, deep Ujjayi breaths if you know Ujjayi, but otherwise just really conscious breaths. So just to, again, this kind of present moment awareness. So just get yourself seated comfortably and just in your own time, 10 slow, deep breaths, feeling like you're drawing the breath from somewhere deep within the pelvic bowl, sliding it up to the crown of the head as you inhale and back down as you exhale. Relaxing the face and the shoulders. Try to regulate your inhale and exhale, the same length, doing an internal count if that helps. Finding the comfortable place of seated position to feel the spine extend most easily, neutral spine. Relaxing the legs and the hips. Feeling centered and serene. You feel you've done at least 10 slow deep breaths. Doesn't matter how many we do, but a good amount. Just in your own time, slowly making your way down to your back on the floor. And no rush, we'll meet on our backs. So let's just close with just a cross twist. Make sure we have the time for a nice shavasana. So we'll come into thread the needle. So bring the outer right ankle onto the front of the left thigh. Left foot can stay on the floor, otherwise we pick it up and we take the hands around the left shin or the back of the left knee. We're not going to hold this part for too long, but just to get a brief outer hip stretch, also stretching into the lower right back. And then we're going to turn it into our cross twist. So release the left foot to the floor, let everything drop out to the left, keeping the leg position the same. The right foot will eventually come to the floor and the right knee is pointing up to the ceiling. Extend your right arm away, look over your right shoulder. Maybe just press the inner right knee away from you. Open up the right hip and side. Relax the belly, relax the right shoulder blade, right upper back muscles. Relax the face. Draw the lower belly into the spine as you roll back to the center. Check you're centrally aligned in the spine and the pelvis as you swap sides. So flexing the left foot, take the left foot, left outer ankle to the front of the right thigh. Left arm goes through that little gap under the left leg as you hug the right knee into the chest. Breathing into the left outer hip and lower back. A brief stretch here. And make it count, big breaths. And then releasing the right foot back down. Let everything come out to the right. Keep the leg position until the left sole of the foot meets the floor. Left knee points up to the ceiling. Release the left arm away from you and look over that left shoulder. And I like to just press the inner left thigh away from me with my right hand. I feel that stretching the belly. And relax the left side of the belly, the muscles around the left shoulder blade dropping into the floor. Slacken and soften the jaw, relax the face. Deepen the breath. And then again, connecting to your core as you roll back to the center, making sure you're aligned through the spine and the pelvis. Just finish with happy baby or knees to the chest. Opening up the lower back one more time here. And then when you're ready, finding Shavasana, to completely let the body rest and relax, making sure the feet are slightly wider than the hips, the arms slightly away from the sides with the palms up, aligned through the pelvis, the spine, the neck and the head. Scanning the body, inviting release of any areas where you feel you're gripping, feeling a sense of heaviness spread through the body, weightiness, like a dead weight, Shavasana, the corpse pose. Utter surrender of the body to the floor support. And as always, if you would like longer in Shavasana, please stay here as long as you wish. If you'd like to finish with me, just starting to deepen the breath, starting to bring movement back to the fingers and the toes. Taking any stretches that feel good. And gradually, in your own time, just returning to seated, to close together. And let's just bring our palms together, gesture of gratitude, honoring. And just bowing your head towards your hands in honoring of yourself for practicing this evening, of your amazing body for allowing you to do these things, your back for supporting you through life. Anything else that you feel an honoring of, a gratitude for in this moment, your yoga practice, your commitment. And when you feel complete, just lifting the head, keeping the eyes open. Thank you for practicing with me this evening. Namaste, and see you soon.